It's Nolan. What's going on, y'all? It's the Kid J Nolan here. All right, as you can tell by the title, this is my first episode of Industry Breakdown. So all of the different transgressions that have been going on in the industry, I'm going to address all of them in one video tonight, all right? When I say transgressions, I'm talking about things that happen between artists coming out and voicing their discontent with the industry, artists that didn't make as much money as they could or should have, all of those different types of things, all right? Now, the first subject that we're going to get into is Tinashe speaking about her former collaborations with R. Kelly and Chris Brown. Now, Tinashe did an interview recently where the interviewer basically brought up those moments. He said that they were cringy industry moments, and he wanted to know how she looked back upon those moments where she worked with these alleged abusers, whatever you want to call them. So let's get into the actual footage.
Can I ask, like, attached to things that felt labely, would you put in that category the songs you did with R. Kelly and Chris Brown?
Oh, you think I wanted? I literally block out that R. Kelly song from my mind. I forget that even exists. That is so embarrassing. That is so unreal that I even have a song with R. Kelly. That's so embarrassing. No, like, yes, that was labeling.
Yeah, knowing you, it actually like hurts me that like somebody put you in that position. And
I was so young too, which is crazy because I feel like I did that song when I just signed to that label. Like I was probably like 20. Yeah, that's crazy.
And I think the public perceives it as you doing that willingly and not understanding that like you lack a lot of control in that situation.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you do. 1,000%.
If any, like you probably like.
And especially when it comes to singles, like for example, that song with Chris, that was a song that I put, a lot of like, we all wanted it to be like this big moment, this big single. So I feel like in their mind, they were like, you need this support. And he was like their biggest artist they had on rhythmic radio at the time. And to me, I was like, well, this is a pop song. So I really don't feel like we should put Chris on it. Like that, I don't like that. That doesn't compute to me, but I don't know.
Your computation was 100% correct.
I don't know. Thanks. I don't know. Hindsight's 20.
All right. So at the time she was signed to RCA Records, they did a big collaboration with R. Kelly, a couple of them actually. Those songs, I believe, never saw the light of day, but maybe they leaked out or something like that. At the time, of course, Chris Brown was the biggest artist on RCA. He's still one of the biggest artists on RCA, if I may say so. He does own his masters now, so he's got his own company, Chris Brown LLC or something to that effect. But of course, they were going to try to put her up and link her up with the biggest artist on the label. I mean, that's the only thing that you can kind of do to break a new artist. Well, not the only thing, but one of the easiest ways is to see if you could get somebody that's a heavy hitter on the label to try to, give a good look. Unfortunately, things didn't go exactly the way that she wanted. It didn't end up being a huge hit. 2 On ended up being the record that popped her off. But, the label was trying to figure some things out. Now, when Chris Brown actually got wind of this surfacing on social media, he came out and said a few things. He did not take it very lightly, took it very seriously. Number one, he said, name 5 Tinashe songs or you die. He then says, everybody dead. So that was the first shot. Now, he's got some more. He reposted somebody in his story that says niggas be secretly fans behind closed doors and listen to Chris Brown music just as much as we do, but then go on a political hate campaign and take the position of bashing the nigga, SMH. These are the same people who advocate against bullying and being treated fair, but then want to sub bro and smear him in front of the world. I ain't gonna watch it go down no more and not step in front of every bullet. I don't give a fuck who you are, how many followers you weirdos got. We not doing that. Shout out to my bro for not losing his sanity at this point. And I believe that is a repost of Joyner Lucas. He not only posted that in the story to let Chris know he supported him, he also came out and had some of the same things to say on his Instagram page, which is still live on his page right now.
I'm going to say this shit one time, and I'm not going to say it again. There will be no fucking Chris Brown slander tolerated, my nigga. I'm not talking about the fans, man. Fans are going to talk shit. I'm not talking about the fans. I'm talking about you weirdo fucking celebrity weirdos that go on these podcasts and start popping shit at my nigga for absolutely no fucking reason. Niggas making faces and shit. Niggas trying to take shots and talking their little shit, saying whatever they say, trying to get a reaction. And then once the nigga react to you, then you niggas feel, oh, look, see, he's aggressive. Look, this is what he did, Rihanna. He just got da-da-da-da. No, nigga, we not doing that. Chris Brown got real niggas that love him, respect him. He got family. He got an army behind him. I'm one of the niggas that love and respect him. I'm standing in front of the fucking bullet. I'm taking every shot because this nigga's not gonna he not gonna give you niggas what you want. You feel me? And we're not gonna just use Chris as a clout tool, my nigga, whenever you niggas wanna, reach, say his name, pop shit just to get some fucking clickbait. We're not doing that. So I'm just here to let you niggas know. I don't give a fuck who you are, how many followers you got, if you a female, if you a nigga. I don't give a fuck if you a gang member. I don't care if you a pop star, rap. I don't give a fuck. If anybody takes shots at my nigga, I'm taking shots. It is what it is. Cancel me. I don't give a fuck. Chris got real niggas that love him, respect him. Motherfuckers changed my life. I seen him change a lot of other people's lives. This is a motherfucking GOAT. Closest thing we got to Michael Jackson. I don't give a fuck what you say about The Weeknd. It is what it is. Point is, I'm not allowing no Chris Brown slander, my nigga. So you're gonna be seeing my face a lot more every time one of you weirdo celebrities start popping out the woodworks, popping shit about my nigga. If ain't nobody else gonna speak up, I'ma speak up, nigga. Fuck that shit.
So there you have it from Joyner Lucas. Man, I'm a big fan of Joyner. I really wish that he didn't come out saying this. Number one, what Tinashe had to say in the interview really wasn't taking shots at Chris. She was just letting it be known that this was her experience when she got signed. She didn't necessarily want to work with Chris. It was something that the label imposed upon her. I'm sure she didn't mind it. I mean, she was a brand new artist, but looking back, maybe she had her interactions with him. Maybe she didn't like who he was as a person, different things about his character. I don't know. I can't say whether she liked him or not. Can't say that he liked her or any other way around that, right? But she just said that was not my decision. That's what the label wanted. She was more so shitting on R. Kelly, which everybody has done and everybody is rightful in their position to do so. Now we get Joyner coming out and he's shitting on Tinashe with subs. There was also at the VMAs over the weekend when Chris Brown's song was nominated in one of the categories and they zoomed in on Selena Gomez and she kind of turned up her face a little bit. She gave him the conceited face and people were kind of side-eyeing that, trying to say, hey, what's going on here? That's where Joyner gets this thing about making faces came from. And I really wish he would have just fell back and let Chris handle it on his own. He said, name 5 Tinashe songs or we all dead. I didn't like that response, but at least he was the one receiving it. He shot back. It is what it is. I like Joyner a lot. I support his music. I advocate for Joyner a lot, but I wish he would have sat this one out. All that aside, we're going to keep moving and keeping on with this trend. We're going to talk about quite a few people today that have not had the autonomy that they would have wished for in the music industry. And they talk about the effects that it had on them and how they move today because of those things. So somebody who has not had exactly the most fair shake in the industry is K. Michelle. Now, she recently did an interview with The Shade Room. And early in the interview, she was able to talk about the fact that she hates putting out music. It's one of her least favorite things to do. She thrives in the studio. She thrives with the writing. She thrives on tour, on stage, engaging with the fans, but she hates actually putting out music and having to be at the forefront because everybody criticizes her, chastises her, and speaks about her in the craziest ways anytime she puts herself out to the public. In addition to being talked about and having to be in the public eye with everything, she also came out and said that all of the money that she's made has not been from music. She's never been able to actually cash in on her music. There's so many different artists that have come out and said the exact same thing when it comes to the masters, when it comes to the streaming royalties, when it comes to the publishing and all of those things. A lot of artists have never made a dime off of any of that because they got taken advantage of. K. Michelle is one of them, right? She says the only money that she makes is on tour, on stage, and at her endorsement deal with Jack Daniels, which began in 2015, she's made more money from that than she made in her entire career as an artist. The only money she makes is going every weekend on tour, being on stage, and doing endorsement deals. She says she learned more about the business from doing the deal with Jack Daniels as well. Let's get into what K. Michelle had to say because she gets in grave detail.
I hate putting out music.
Why?
Cause folk is evil, man. It never be about the music. It's never about the music. So I feel like every time I put out music, it puts me in a... I hate putting out music.
Why?
Cause folk is evil, man. It never be about the music. It's never about the music. So I feel like every time I put out music, it puts me in the forefront to have to be seen. But when I ain't putting out no music and I'm just doing business, I ain't got to be seen and I don't have to live in nobody's judgment.
Right. Okay, I could understand that. But you're so good at it, at your music. So, like, you have to put more out. Like, we be waiting.
I get it. Like, I don't like it's. I had to look at that the other day. Like, it's not that you don't like music, hey. You don't like the industry. You don't do well with it. You do great in the studio. You do great on stage, but you don't do great in no other part. After this, I own my rights. All of my country rights. They trying to give me a country music deal right now.
Yeah.
Labels. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
I've never owned anything.
Wow.
Like, I've never got no money from none of my gift.
Wow.
So
as a musician, how do you make money in the music space?
Touring. That's why I've literally been on the road every weekend for over 8 years.
Wow.
That and like endorsements, I'd like to say, I'm the first Black ever endorsed by Jack Daniels.
Curious, say it again.
Yes. I made more money and learned more business from Jack Daniels than I made with any music.
Wow.
There's so many stories that have come out with this same exact narrative. So many artists that we thought were well off that had different things going on. So basically, she made the lion's share of her money either from Love and Hip Hop, doing reality TV, going on tour. She's been on the road every weekend in a different city performing for the last 8 years. What type of foundation for family are you able to have if you can't be home with your people and you got to do that 8 years straight, right? You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of artists enjoy it. A lot of artists, they like being gratified in front of the crowd. They like going up on stage. It fulfills part of the dream that you always wanted. But basically, that sets the standard that she's going to have to do that for the rest of her life unless she can solidify enough deals to carry her over. Now, when asked about her country music deals and stuff like that, she's actually turning down labels that want to have dibs on her country music career. But she understands that up to this point, she's owned none of her music. She's made no money off of her own talent. Her God-given gifts, she hasn't been able to cash in on them. The only way that she's actually monetized is from her personality, being able to go on TV and be on the road. Hopefully, moving forward, she is able to actually have a successful transition into country music. It's something that she's wanted to do for a long time. She's always put country music on her albums throughout the R&B stuff that she's done. I'm wishing her all the best. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like K. Michelle. I'm not really deeply entrenched into the reality TV culture to know everything that she did on TV. She had some outlandish moments, of course. But when it comes to artists, my thing is supporting the artists, especially in their business endeavors, even if it's just saying something nice and wishing them well. Again, as we move along in the show, we have Tiffany Evans coming out saying that she wished she knew a little bit more earlier in the game because she was not able to monetize on her career the way that she should have as well. Now, we know Tiffany Evans, she was a child actor. She came out, dropped music when she was a teenager. She disappeared. She was in that Sierra type era. She was in that, what's that other group? Cherish that came out. Like, she was around in the mid 2000s. She had a couple big records and then she kind of disappeared. So here's what Tiffany Evans had to say. This Instagram page, Flying Famous Black Girls, they posted a photo of her when she was a child. It says Tiffany Evans with Arsenio Hall, photographed by Paul Drinkwater during an interview with host Jay Leno on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. She says, if I knew then what I know now, I would have done things differently. I wish I could have changed so much that was going on around this little girl. Everybody took from me. All of the hard-earned money I made, the work I put in, they took from me. Ruined some relationships in this business for me. Squandered some opportunities that if you guys knew about, you would have wanted to get back in blood for me. I spent years doing something that I love to become an adult and have nothing to show for it. It bothers my mental a lot sometimes. The ones who know the truth really know. From a teenager to my adult years, I went out looking for love in the wrong places, was manipulated and terribly abused. Out of that kind of life, I gained beautiful children. I met my soulmate, but I really want to see what I worked so hard for all my childhood finally come to life. And I love music, so I'm really working at it still, y'all. I trust the Lord. Thank you for always showing me love. Please keep rooting for me and follow Jawan x Tiffany. We're dropping music together and some solos soon, too. What's wild is I always kind of wondered what happened to Tiffany Evans. I recently ran across her page on Instagram and saw that she's married. I guess she married a musician, a producer and songwriter artist. So they have a group together now that they release music under. She's coming back to release new music. But unfortunately, at the height of her career, at the height of her celebrity, at the height of her visibility, being on 106 in Park and being on BET multiple times per day, all that money that she made, she was never actually able to see it for herself. It sounds like her family actually took advantage of her, possibly management, agents, all of those different people. Everybody got a piece of it. And this is what happens to a lot of child stars because you don't have the ability to sign off on deals yourself. You don't have knowledge of the industry. You're really seeing this from a child's point of view. It's just what you dream of. Anybody that tries to give you advice to go against what you want at that time, you're going to look at them with evil eyes because you're going to think they're not supporting you in your dreams. So it really is set up to fail if you're coming into the industry at a young age. You really have to be on some Ryan Leslie child prodigy genius type shit. And even he didn't get his fair share when he came into the industry. It took a long time for him to evolve and figure out what independence looked like. The sad thing is that we could literally go on for days with all of these different stories, but this is just what came out over the weekend. Now, something else that came out over the weekend is a new Drake and SZA record, okay? Slime You Out. Now, in the promo leading up to Slime You Out dropping to the world, Drake, DJ Khaled, and a couple of other people posted this photo of Halle Berry getting slimed on Nickelodeon, and they used this as their promo to let folks know that the record was coming. I think SZA also posted it as well. Unfortunately, Halle Berry is not happy about this photo being used to promote it. They did not use it as the official single artwork, but it was used as, the announcement. Somebody asked Halle Berry on Instagram what her thoughts are of Drake using that picture for his single. She says, "Didn't get my permission. That's not cool. I thought better of him. Hence my post today. When people you admire disappoint you, you have to be the bigger person and move on." So she made it very clear Drake did not get her permission, did not get her blessing, and he moved forward with using it anyway. The plot gets thicker. Somebody else commented, "Drake ain't ish compared to the Miss Halle Berry, okay? He don't compete where he don't even compare. Simply out of respect, he should have asked her." To which she replies, "He did have his people call my people, and I said no. I didn't like that image of slime all over my face in association with his song, and he chose to do it anyway. You see, that is the disrespect. Not cool." Somebody else says, "Take him to court." Halle says, "I'm not interested in suing my people. I just wish these men out here would give women the respect we deserve." She didn't end there, though. Another commenter says, "It's the principle, people. You get it. You get it. You don't? Oh, well, it's the principle." Halle Berry says, "Exactly. It's about principles and integrity. So happy many of you get that." Someone else says, "I would be more upset about the meaning of the pic. Slime you. What does that mean exactly?" She says, "Exactly. What does that mean?" When you actually listen to the song, Slime You Out is really basically saying, "I'm going to do you dirty. I'm going to treat you bad," right? It's a song about him talking to his ex about all of the different ways that he treated her well, broke his heart, and he should have just treated her badly. And now that you're reaching out trying to get cool again, if you come back into my vicinity, I'm going to treat you like shit because that's what you deserve. And then SZA comes in and says the same thing. So they're just talking down upon the opposite sex. There's a lot of people that believe that they're talking to each other about their former relationship back in the G, but both of them were so young back then, I don't even think that shit was really valid. Somebody else comes out and says, "While I do understand your side, that photo is owned by Getty Images, so I'm sure he got their permission and paid the fee. Why you mad?" Halle says, "Because he asked me and I said no. That's why. Why ask if you intend to do what you want to do? That was the F you to me. Not cool. You get it?" Halle Berry and Drake do have a history together. It was rumored that they might have been dating years ago. No one ever confirmed that, but there was a point where I think Drake wore a Halle Berry t-shirt or hoodie or something to that effect. That came out. It created a stir in social media. Halle Berry then followed up and wore a Drake t-shirt with his face on it. So it seemed like they were speaking in code, trying to let somebody know something, you know what I mean? But again, it was never confirmed that they had any relationship or relations. At that time, I think she did call him a friend and that she respected him and stuff like that. And I guess at this point, that friendship has been fractured at the very least because she doesn't respect this shit. And of course, when you're using someone's image, name, or likeness, there's a lot of value that goes into that. Even if it's just promo and it doesn't get used as the official, like, don't put me in your rollout, bro. Don't put my face in your fucking rollout, especially if you hit me up and asked me for permission and I said, no, I would rather not, and you did it anyway. Yeah, that's going to fuck up some things. So I understand where Halle Berry's coming from. I support Halle Berry in her stance. Like Drake, I enjoy his music. I thought the song was cool, not my cup of tea. Like I said, I like his ending verse. I like the rap at the end more than anything. He was spitting on that, but just wasn't my vibe. I hope the album is a little bit more up-tempo, but that's just the type of music that I prefer to hear. I don't listen to them slow jams, crooning ass records. And when it comes to fractured relationships, it must be said, Teyana Taylor has finally come out to let the people know what's going on between her and Iman Shumpert. Now, last week, there was a plethora of different videos that came out showcasing Iman Shumpert in the studio with a young lady. She was wearing one of his chains. She tried to say it was innocent. It's his label chain. I'm his artist. I don't have an intimate relationship with Iman. Leave me alone. There was other video that came out where Iman was looking like at a video shoot or he was among some strippers, dancers and stuff like that. People were trying to understand maybe Teyana was allowing this. Maybe Teyana was a party, you know, partaking in all of this because not too long ago, she came out and said that they did allow other people to step into their bedroom to perform threesomes and things of that nature. A lot of people said she was dumb, going out of her way, going against her nature. But she said she was actually the one that invited those people into their bedrooms. Now, I don't give a fuck what people do behind closed doors, but here's what Teyana Taylor had to say to go ahead and dispel these rumors because she really didn't like the narratives that were being pushed on her name or Iman's, because people were basically speculating that he was cheating on her and that she was cool with it. Teyana Taylor says, not too much on my bestie. In all fairness, Iman and I are separated and have been for a while. Ooh, shit. To be 1,000% clear, infidelity, quote unquote, ain't one of the reasons for our departure. We are still the best of friends, great business partners, and are one hell of a team when it comes to co-parenting our two beautiful children. Most importantly, we are family, and in the 10 years together, 7 years married, we ain't ever played with or about that. We just keep y'all asses out the group chat, which is the reason we've been able to successfully and peacefully separate without all of the outside noise. The only reason I'm even sharing this part of the chat is because the narratives are getting a little out of hand and it's unfair to all parties involved. I hope this provided some clarity for y'all. Okay, Auntie taking y'all back out the chat. Bye. So this is official. Her and Iman Shumpert are no longer together. They've been separated for some time. We don't know what exactly took them apart, but it seems like their careers, responsibilities, and maybe just life objectives took them in different directions. We've seen Teyana. She's trying to get back into music. She's getting back on stage. She's helping other artists get back on stage, get on stage, teaching them routines, choreography, doing creative direction for all the ladies in hip hop right now. That's definitely a demanding task that she's taking on, helping everybody get acclimated to dancing, getting they 1-2s, boom cats, and all that good shit going. Iman's got his podcast, Iman Amongst Men, that's very successful. He's doing an excellent job acting on The Shy. So they both have a lot going on. And we just don't know. Maybe they no longer wanted to be together. Maybe they just drifted. Maybe they found other partners that they wanted to deal with. Maybe they just both wanted to be single. This was something that we did. We're close. They're still friends. They're partners. Just going their separate ways. And that's okay. Honestly, it's a part of life for a lot of people. Not everybody stays together forever. And not everybody that breaks apart has to become enemies or try to sully each other's name in the public or just sully each other's name privately either. As we can see Teyana here, class act, letting people know I'm not going for none of this shit y'all talking about. We still close, we still family, and we're still business partners. We have other things that we got to work on together. So y'all are way off. Iman is free to do whatever the fuck he wants to do because we're separated. Now take that shit on. There's nothing further that I have to offer on that. She said everything that needs to be said. Y'all let me know what y'all think of all of these stories down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I will see y'all on the next one. If you like this industry breakdown that I did and you want to see more of those, let me know in the comments. At any rate, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. I'm going to catch y'all later. Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.